Prussia has mostly fallen. They are pushing into Poland, but it's definitely going to be a more costly war than it ordinarily would be. Now the question here is Poland considered the only major power in that faction? Yeah, so if Poland loses, all of this gets annexed. So Romania, for the purposes of this alliance, should probably also be considered a major. Because it will take the Romanian forces some time to get up there. Fates Czechoslovakia. So that border has just expanded unexpectedly. Imro took our cause. True, but they're not internal problem. Well, they are internal problems. German troops have crossed into Bohemia and Moravia, ostensibly to restore order in the regions in the wake of the collapsing Czechoslovakian government. That was actually a pretty well-timed attack. Alright, what the hell do I still need to do this? 250 for a 209. Okay, we are getting closer. Hungary renounces the Treaty of Trianon. In a public declaration, Miklos Horthy has renounced the treaty imposed by the Allied powers after the Great War. Signed by the Hungarians under protest in 1920, it greatly reduced the country's size and limited the strength of its military. In fact, if Germany gets Romania, that's going to be their oil situation just sorted. Naval. You know what I still haven't done? Depth charges. Whoops! Well, we wouldn't have been in a position to really do that because, you know, we're building our battleships. And we should probably also get fuel refining going. Fall of Warsaw. German forces advancing in Poland succeeded in capturing Warsaw. Sporadic fighting continues in Prague and a few other districts, but organised resistance in the city seems to have ceased. We need to build them first. Oh, first one's done. So the next one is in April 41. So you should join that fleet. And you should probably split out into a separate fleet. Because you are a cruiser. And cruisers generally are used for searching, but you're actually a mine layer. I noticed that earlier when I was checking. And this should probably be the pride of the fleet. Oh, it costs 100 though. It's not worth it. Now I have my military factories back again. So where the hell did they go? Romania might stay untouched if they haven't sent troops, so I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, they have. They've, for the most part, been pretty obliterated. Lost them with our cores, but we haven't taken those cores back again. Oh, unless our compliance has risen high enough. That might have been the case. Alright, Hellenic armed forces are done. I'm going to get the Hellenic Navy because I want those dockyards. We Greeks have a strong and proud maritime tradition since we won our independence from the Ottoman Empire. Our navy is the strongest of our neighbours, and we need only cultivate our naval legacy to make ourselves a truly powerful regional power in the Mediterranean. And we have another military factory. Is that because we're building them? We were building them. That's why we got more. Let's go with another heavy tank in that case. Advanced machine tools, finished. So that's all of those. We do have a refinery. So boosting the amount of fuel we get from it sounds like a good idea. The other thing we never actually got around to doing was building aircraft. Which was a thing we were going to do. And there it is. Romania, Lithuania, Estland and Poland have all been annexed. Worst case situation for Germany. And France... Oh! Allies never joined the war. That's why Poland was allowed to fall. I guess the UK and France weren't guaranteeing Poland in this timeline. So even though we're going to have a very strong Soviet Union, we've also got a very strong Germany because of that. Yeah, they'll have resistance, but that's fully annexed. Yeah, extraction technologies could be a good idea, but again, remember, we're going to be switching to autarky, so we're not actually going to be selling as much as we would like to be. And in fact, our sales have gone down. Except for steel. Everyone's buying our steel. Because right now, our economy is actually pretty well balanced, but that's probably going to go out of whack. So I think we're going to get Hellenic army, backbone of the army, just so we can get the recruitable population. Then I think we've got to do autarky. Small, antiquated, but tenacious. This is how many would describe the Greek army. It is not an inaccurate description. All we need to do is modernize our tactics and equipment, and we shall well and truly become a force to be feared in the Balkans. Right, I do have AA, because we're building the AA SPGs. Duh. Never mind. Poland had a faction. They can still be guaranteed. So we do have an air force counter. Air power counter is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Now we can do this. Take 60 days, then after that we can take out Imro. We'll need to reposition some of our soldiers. But we can do that. Hellenic Academy battle plans. Attack bonus versus country, and these are permanent. So we need to have completed the Hellenic Air Force, Army and Navy. Defensive bonus against Italy plus 15%. It's only... Oh no, they're all 15. Okay. And we've finished all the production again. Okay, our industry is roaring right now. So let's go ahead and do that. And then put those there and those there. Look how fast we're making those. That's awesome. Hellenic army is done, so let's get backbone of the army. Our conscription processes are a little archaic compared to a lot of our neighbours, and our equipment is woefully outdated. It is time we modernised our conscription procedures and the equipment we are arming our soldiers with. Huzzah! Oh, 120 days, you're right. Right, another military factory. More heavy tanks. Let's get those really going. And we are now very short on steel, so let's buy another one from you. In fact, we could probably even do with two. Basic depth charges are done. Let's get the regular depth charge. And then we can start refitting our navy. Yeah, all these heavy tanks are kind of resource intensive. Nykus, thank you very much for the 2-month resubscription. Very much appreciate the support there. And Drus, 2K, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Is Italy not going after Albania? They haven't yet. We have no idea what Italy is doing, though, which is a little bit concerning. France is improving relations with Spain. Yeah, I saw the tiny little Poland. I think that's just a bug because it doesn't recognize that this is actually an independent state, so it just leaves them. Hey, another download. Thank you very much to whomever that was. Very much appreciate the support there. We're at 80. 80 of 90. We just need 10 more. And I'm pretty confident that we can get the 10 today. That's my goal for the day, is I want to hit that 90 milestone. Yeah, thank you, Kalinus. Wouldn't I be able to boost resources of the infrastructure in the Aegean? Yes, I would be. But at this point, because we are now partial mobilization, building factories is more worth our while. Which is why I'm starting to do that. Oh yeah, there's a fair amount there. Especially aluminium. Bit of steel. There's actually a lot of industry on Crete. So next I'll probably do Crete and then the Aegean. Because again, industry is top priority now. And we have another military factory. This time I think I'm going to put it in just regular old guns, because we're going to need more infantry. So what we'll probably ultimately want is 2 types of infantry template, and in fact I'm going to do that now. So these are going to be the guard. And then you are going to be my front lines, because in these regiments we are going to add... Oh, it costs 25. Oh, we'll add them when we can. They are very manpower intensive. We need to befriend the fascists soon. 250 political power is what we're trying to get to. Space Marines are still a bit strong. I don't get why so many people are against the Space Marine template. Yeah, they're strong, but they're also freaking expensive. Like, that cost factors in pretty heavily. How goes the battleship? July. This year. 4 months. Not bad. With very, very small amount short on equipment. In fact, we can make it the 23rd of July. There we are. And we have another military factory, which we are going to put into more guns. Oil processing is done. I think we're going to need another one of those. 1940. Nope, we're going to go for research. They aren't manpower expensive is the thing, and if you're using heavy SPAAs, they're super cheap. Well, that's the thing. Like, you're basically exchanging industry for manpower, which I think is a fair exchange, depending on how you've built up your nation. Researching more research is always a good move. I agree with that. One thing you could learn to do in vanilla Hard to Find for Mordred is improving relationship on the 2 Spains for military attaches. See, I know all about military attaches. I just don't think they're worth the cost. I get along just fine without having the early boost of army experience, which is the main thing you benefit. I prefer having political power. I will say in the Bulgaria game, where I had early on loads of political power, maybe attaches would have been good there. But generally, I am so short on political power, I'd much rather be investing in advisors and designers and things like that. That's a really early war against the Soviets. 1940s. The Allies aren't even in this. Interesting. Alright, Greek autarky. Our long-held dependence on the capital of the countries richer than us is humiliating. These countries patronize us and bully us and keep us poor so they can keep their own pockets lined with wealth. No, I think Russia's purges of... Oh no, they're right at the end. 3 months. But the modifiers are really, really low now. And Germany does not have the industries from France. And in fact, it's not even at war with France right now. So if that war breaks out, then Germany might be in a bit of trouble. I'm kind of expecting this to be a giant stalemate. Which so far it seems to be, especially because they've attacked in the mud season. And that entire border is just one giant morass right now. Right, what can we make? More guns. We will need to import a bit more steel, so we may well need some more civilian factories because of our reliance on steel imports. Oh, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250. Befriend the fascists. We lose 24% stability. We will gain 10 back after 200 days. And then another 5 from that. So we'll gain 15 but lose 24. I wonder how that's calculated. Yeah, we'll go below for a little while, but it will tick over again. British Raj took 17 states. Belgium have joined the Allies. Oh, you joined the Axis. I thought I read there for a minute that Italy had joined the Allies. Okay, so Italy is now in the Axis. German pressure towards Benelux following the breakout of war with France. War with France? That hasn't happened. Independence of the Netherlands is guaranteed by the UK. But I don't think the UK is allied with France, are they? No, they're not. They're allied with Belgium. Yeah, so the UK is guaranteeing the Netherlands. So Belgium has joined the Allies. Luxembourg has joined the Comintern. Germany has declared... Oh, Luxembourg joined the Comintern. Following the breakout of war with not France, Germany has applied stronger diplomatic pressure than ever to the countries of the Benelux. With British backing, however, they're refusing to give in to these pressures. Luxembourg has capitulated, but they shouldn't need to worry, because the USSR will protect them. So Belgium and the UK are at war. I don't think the Netherlands is. And the Dutch are not allied with Britain. They're finishing Noordoostpolder, which is fine. It wasn't Zodazay. I thought it was Zodazay they were doing. Right, new focus. So we've got autarky. So we now need to make a decision. Do we want to expand our tobacco industry, which will give us 4 civilian factories, and also make Germany, the US, France and the UK like us a lot more? Or do we want to increase our mining operations, which is 3 military factories, and research bonuses for excavation? So 4 factories versus 3. Both of them come with a consumer goods reduction, which is one of the big benefits for us going through this line, actually. Is going to be a 10% saving on consumer goods. Okay, I think that this is a vote time. So new poll. Which path? Question mark. So we can expand tobacco, which I've completely misspelled. Expand to Babbo. Or we can increase mining. And vote. So again, tobacco is going to be 4 factories and relations improvement with 4 different nations, which I think does make them more likely to trade with us. I think that's one of the reasons our trade's doing so well, actually, is because I improved relations with everybody. Or we can do the mining operations, which doesn't actually increase what we mine. It does get excavation technology, though that's fairly cheap. Like, I never really have a problem with it. I do it late because I know it's going to be very quick. And 3 military factories. So what do you think we should... Oh, it's already ended. Okay, so expanding tobacco came in with just 31%. I guess tobacco is still seen as unpopular. Increased mining, and so it should be. Increased mining came in with 69%, so we're going to go with the increased mining. Afro-Giacon, thank you very much for the 27,000 channel point investment there. Okay, so let's do this. Expanding our tobacco production might ingratiate us better with the international community, but it's expanding our heavy mining industry that has more utility to the state. Minerals and ores will win the war, not tobacco and olive oil. Yeah, I agree with you on that point, Grillzander. I hate metas. I hate metas with a passion. They're boring. Italy announces claims on Yugoslavian territory. Speaking to the Italian populations along the Dalmatian coast, Benito Mussolini has announced that Italy fully considers Italian-speaking territory in Yugoslavia to be a rightful part of Italy. Hungary have joined the Axis. Earlier today, the German Reich and Hungary issued a joint statement, with the latter now being formally granted member status of the Axis. We have another military factory, which is going to go to guns. And at this point... we're still befriending the fascists. I need to keep manpower for the ship when it's built. I mean, that is going to be soon. And then we can refit our destroyers for anti-submarine work. Tobacco is wacko. The Netherlands have joined the Allies. Germany declared war on the Netherlands. So now that they don't need to worry about defending France, are these going to be able to hold? Especially because Germany is already at war with the Soviets. They might actually be able to hold, you know. American and British gunboats were attacked by Japanese aircraft in separate actions today while evacuating Western civilization from the front line of the war between Japan and China. Despite being clearly marked as an American vessel, the USS Panay was hit by 2 bombs and sunk, with 3 American and 1 Italian civilian killed and others wounded. Depth charge thrower. Finished. Okay. I think I'm going to go for smoke generators. Then we really need to start looking at naval doctrines too. And we can go here. We do have a little bit of Navy experience, which we can utilize to change up our destroyer template. Oh, you have mine layers? Why do you have mine layers? Do I want to keep you with mine layers? Actually, thinking about it, mining the living daylights out of our coastline is not necessarily a bad idea, because it slows all through traffic. So laying mines in these two at least could be really useful. And not that dangerous, because the Italians aren't going to be that active here. Probably. Oh, of course, they're fighting in Africa already. That's where Britain will be busy. So why Bourbon France? Is France especially drunk? I kind of made that joke already. It's because it went monarchist. Mine slow all ships and game speed in one go. It's amazing. I have yet to see anything other than anecdotal evidence that mines actually slow the game down. I have not seen anyone actually provide evidence of that when I ask. If you have any sources as mines actually slowing the game down, then please, please, please provide them. Send them to me on Discord. Not at all sad to have accidentally repeated a joke. It was a good joke. Because France is very drunk. Because they have all the bourbon. I mean, they've named the country after it, for goodness sake. Fuel refining 2. Done. Fuel per oil, or fuel from refineries, I think. Refineries, because we still have the one refinery. Current opinion on the new DLC. I got to admit, I am much more liking Greece right now compared to Bulgaria. Bulgaria, in theory, is really interesting, but I think it's kind of buggy. Like, there were several quite important focuses that did not do what they were advertised to do. With Greece, we haven't had any such problems. So yeah, I'm liking Greece. Can't say about Turkey, because I haven't got that far yet. Okay, so we can now destroy Imro. We apparently have all the soldiers where we need them to be, which is perfect. This is going to add skirmishers against Imro for 90 days. When it's removed, we gain 10 stability, which will bump us up to 64. Bulgaria loses their cause in my Macedonian states. Do it. So we need to hold this for 90 days. I mean, we want to stay fairly peaceful for 160, because we're still trying to encourage the fascists to join us, which will give us that big manpower boost. Did have issues with economic influence. To an extent. I mean, they kept on saying no, even though relations were high. But that's just because they were hidden decisions rather than not working, I think. Random chance. Weighted random chance. In fact, I don't even know if it's weighted. Is it just me as the African front sort of inconsequential? It's not. I mean, it's strategic for the same reasons, because it opens up the southern Mediterranean for an invasion of Italy. Which, fairly frequently, is when Italy starts to lose, is when Germany starts to lose. Okay, next question. Do we wish to encourage tourism? We will lose our tourism industry as soon as we enter a state of war. Or do we want to mobilize the economy, which will get us war economy, even though we're not actually at war? We do have high enough war support where we can maintain it. So we can modify this, which will give us 5 stability. We'll gain booming tourism industry, which gives us political power plus 15, consumer goods minus 5, and then stability plus 10. But we will lose that if and when we go to war. Or do we want to mobilize the economy to gain free war economy? That is the question. How will chat respond? And vote. Get your votes in. Which one should we do? Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. Ninja Panda wants me to drink some tea. Yeah, this is a pretty poor choice. So we shall see just how much chat wants to screw with me. Or not. They might want to see a perfectly reasonable game. I mean, we do have at least, what, half a year of peacetime, minimum. Probably, hopefully. Unless somebody declares war on us. So, effectively, encourage tourism is a timed modifier, which generally I detest. Yeah, okay, that was actually remarkably close. 48 to 52. Encourage tourism coming in with the 48. Helson came in with a 51,000 channel point investment. Thank you very much for that, Helson. I am guessing I know which one you voted for. Yep. I was correct. Thanks, Helson. We're going to mobilize the economy, however. The great powers of Europe are revving up their war engines, and we cannot risk being caught unprepared. The process will be painful for Greece, more painful than it would be for most countries, but for the sake of our survival, we must make sacrifices. Begin. Hey, even the war people need vacations. True. You probably would actually make a bucket load of money as an R&R place during wartime. And we also gained our 4 military factories from the mining. What are we short in? Support equipment and heavy AT. So we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that, and we'll do that. I mean, the other thing we could probably do with eventually would be aircraft, but that really can be an eventually thing. Oh, and our new ship should be done. It is not. 27th of July. However, on that note, I am going to have to end this stream here because I'm getting really hungry and I want to go and eat something. So thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you're enjoying this. If you are, be sure to hit that follow button so you get notifications when I'm live again in the future, which, don't worry, will be in 1 hour. So at 10 PM this evening, I will be playing some Baldur's Gate 3, continuing the game from last week with the Dwarf Wizard. If you want to support the channel further, then please, please, please consider downloading Raid Shadow Legends. They are doing a very generous sponsorship of the channel at the moment, which you can find linked over there in chat, or you can find in the banner down in the About section for this channel. Like I said, it is a very, very generous sponsorship. The game is free. It does not cost you anything. You just need to download the game and then run through the first 5 minutes, which is the tutorial. So complete the tutorial and that's it. Done. You can then play on it if you wish, and if you're enjoying it, or you just uninstall it and leave it. You've done it. And I cannot state enough just how good a sponsorship it is. It is worth quite a bit to the channel, so please, please, please do consider doing that. It massively helps out. And again, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I do have a Patreon if you want to support the channel that way, or you can, of course, become a subscriber here on Twitch. Every little bit helps. If you want to see more of this type of thing, you can find the Bulgaria game over on YouTube, which is at youtube.com/MordredViking. Then I also have a Discord, which is where the community hangs out. They're a cool bunch, and it's always a pleasure to see some new faces over there. So do come along, join us, say hello. You would be more than welcome. I'm just going to go and see who else is streaming right now. And we'll throw out a raid. Oh, Frank's on. Let's go and raid Frank the Tank Killer. I really like Frank. He is really, really nice guy, especially for newer players. He's very happy to answer questions and things. So head on over to Frank the Tank Killer. Say hello from Mordred Viking. I would love to see his chat lit up with the Viking raid, which you can do by copying that and pasting it into his channel chat when we arrive. And you can, of course, if you're a subscriber, use the longships as well. So note that those longships will only work if you're a subscriber here on this channel. Otherwise, it just comes up with a bunch of gobbledygook. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I'll be back again 10 PM this evening. I hope to see you there for some Baldur's Gate 3. See you all later. Bye.